Cancer genes. The function of two classes of genes, oncogenes and tumor suppressor genes, lie at the heart of any understanding of the biology of cancer. Oncogenes are derived from mutated versions of normal cellular genes called proto-oncogenes that encode proteins that control cell proliferation, survival and spread. In normal cells, the expression of proto-oncogenes is very tightly regulated to avoid uncontrolled cell growth.
So there are two genes like oncogenes and anti-oncogenes. Oncogenes and anti-oncogenes. So we have got the concept of oncogenes and anti-oncogenes. Anti-oncogenes are nothing but the tumor suppressor genes that are very important. So this is one side and this is the other side. These oncogenes are derived nothing but the normal cellular genes only, but they are the mutated versions and they are called as proto-oncogenes. They promote the oncogenes. Like number one, they help in cell proliferation. Number two, they help in cell survival. Number three, they help in the spread of the tumor. But in normal cells, if the cell is a normal one, it inhibits all the proto-oncogenes, it inhibits all the cancers. If the cell is a normal one, so it inhibits all the proto-oncogenes.
Proto-oncogenes. In cancer, abnormalities of proto-oncogenes are responsible for uncontrolled cell division, enhanced survival and dissemination. Oncogenes are phenotypically dominant. This is a single mutated copy of proto-oncogene is sufficient to promote cancer and are almost never responsible for inherited cancer syndromes, with the exception of red in hereditary endocrine tumors.
As we could see in these proto-oncogenes, they help in uncontrolled cell division, increased survival. Number three, dissemination of the cancers. Oncogenes are phenotypically dominant. One gene is enough. Phenotypically dominant, one gene is enough for a proto-oncogene to promote cancer. They are never responsible for inherited cancer syndromes. They are never responsible for inherited cancer syndromes. They are almost never responsible for inherited cancer syndromes, except for example like a RET proto-oncogene, which helps in endocrine tumors, like RET PTC example. Like a RET PTC, it is a hereditary one, okay, as you could see, okay.
Oncogenes can be activated in three ways to cause cancer. MAT. Gene mutation involves the acquisition of a specific defect in the sequence of a gene, such as the gene has enhanced function. Example, RAS in pancreatic and colorectal cancers.
As we could see, gene mutation, three ways, that is mutation. Number one is mutation, as you could see here. Specific defect is acquired so that the gene has got enhanced function. Example, RAS gene in pancreatic and colorectal cancers. RAS gene in pancreatic and colorectal cancers.
Gene amplification occurs when a gene retains its normal sequence, but gene is repeated in the chromosome. Example, NMYC in neuroblastoma.
So previously it was a mutation, now it is the amplification. So normal gene is there but it is amplified. The sequence is normal but it is amplified. They multiply many times. Many times the gene becomes multiplied and repeated in the chromosomes. Example is NMYC in neuroblastoma. So this NMYC gene in neuroblastoma is example for this amplification. Previously mutation, RAS in pancreatic, and then this one NMYC in the case of neuroblastoma.
Gene translocation involves the gene being moved from its normal chromosomal position to a new position, usually on the different chromosome, where it comes under the influence of a new, more active promoter element. Example, CMYC in Burkitt lymphoma forms a novel fusion protein. Example, BCR-ABL in chronic myeloid leukemia.
As we could see, the third one, first one is mutation, second one is amplification, third one is translocation. So gene is translocated, that is one normal chromosome, one point locus to another position, like in a different chromosome. Example is like c-MYC gene in the case of Burkitt's lymphoma, and then BCR-ABL gene in the case of chronic myeloid leukemia, like 9:22, as you can note over here. Oncogenic activation has got three pathways. So number one is mutation, number two is amplification, number three is new protein formation, that is fusion. So as you could see here, mutation mRNA, it forms a mutant protein here. Number two, amplified. So that is, as you could see, NMYC in the case of neuroblastoma, amplified normal gene, and this is the fusion protein. New protein is formed. Example, as in the case of the Burkitt's lymphoma or chronic myeloid leukemia. BCR-ABL gene. The BCR-ABL gene. These three processes are very important. This is a normal protein, normal mRNA, which becomes abnormal by means of mutation, number one, amplification, and number three is fusion protein formation by means of translocation. This is translocation. So these are the three processes which are very important.
Tumor suppressor genes are normal cellular genes whose function involves inhibition of cell proliferation and survival. They are frequently involved in controlling cell cycle progression and apoptosis. TSG are phenotypically recessive. This is the function of both copies must be lost in order to promote cancer and are responsible for inherited cancer syndromes.
As you could see, first one is the oncogenes, is one which promote the cancer. This is opposite to it is tumor suppressor genes. These tumor suppressor genes, these are recessive, whereas oncogenes are dominant. Tumor suppressor genes are recessive. You need two copies for the cancer to form. Two copies. So you need both copies for the cancer to form, and they help in inherited cancer syndrome. Oncogenes will not help in inherited cancer syndrome, whereas tumor suppressor genes, they help in inherited cancer syndrome. What do? They control the cell cycle proliferation and apoptosis. Cell cycle progression is inhibited, number one, apoptosis is promoted. Apoptosis is programmed cell death, as you know in pathology. These tumor suppressor genes are normal cellular genes. These are normal cellular genes. They are present in normal patients, normal persons also. Involves the inhibition of cell proliferation. They inhibit the cell proliferation and they promote the apoptosis, that is, they decrease the survival of the cell.
In familial cancer syndromes, individuals inherit a germline mutation in one copy of a TSG such that every cell in the body is affected. It is therefore highly likely that at least one cell in the body will suffer complete loss of TSG function because only one copy has to be mutated. As a result, hereditary cancer syndromes often give rise to multiple cancers at an early age.
Why this hereditary cancer syndrome, they give rise to multiple cancers every early stages? Because tumor suppressor genes, they are like recessive and recessive. If the gene has to express, both copies are to be there. Even if one copy is there, for example, as you could see, highly likely that at least one cell in the body will suffer complete loss of tumor suppressor gene. If the other dominant gene is lost and it forms the recessive one, it can form into a cancer. In familial cancer syndromes, individuals inherit a germline mutation. It is a germline mutation, very important, and one copy will be there in the body always. So tumor suppressor genes are recessive, oncogenes are dominant. That is the most important point. So with this we understand the basics of a gene and basics of this tumor suppressor genes and oncogenes, and this ends this lecture from the ENT student for the basic understanding of cancer oncogenes. Thank you very much.